love, not war was a popular phrase used in the 60s and 70s. Advocates for nonviolence, tolerance, diversity, and openness used this phrase to spread peace and love. These activists, also referred to as hippies or flower children, started a movement that affected the United States and spread through the rest of the world. I can believe their cause to be honorable, and it is one that we need to continue honoring today. What started in the mid-60s and went in through the 70s was known as the hippie era or hippie movement. This movement started with the youth on college campuses before spreading through the U.S. Hippies during this time were known for being quite countercultural and were anti-war. The movement started in protest of the Vietnam War, and these hippies were involved with politics, protests, and gained a lot of attention due to their unconventional lifestyle. So much good happened throughout the hippie era. What started with protests on college campuses grew to be something so much bigger than any single college student could imagine. The first major protest was in 1966 in New York City on Fifth Avenue. 25,000 people were in protest here. Although protests were occurring everywhere at this time, again in New York City about a year later, in 1967, 400,000 people marched in the Peace and Freedom Walk. These youthful activists had started quite a movement. You may have also heard of the Summer of Love, which took place in San Francisco during July of 1967. I find the cause of love, peace, and unity that these people were nonviolently fighting for to be quite beautiful and important. The hippie lifestyle was not all glamorous, though. The unconventional lifestyle that I have referred to was sometimes a little rough, and the hippies were known for their drug usage in order to reach higher levels of consciousness. These activities were known for using and abusing hallucinogens. Because of this, in some areas, there were many people that would gather and live together, and crime and drug usage did become an issue. The problems that the hippies faced, though, were not all among themselves. In 1970, at Kent State University, the National Guard aimed over 60 rounds of ammunition at students, killing many and wounding even more. This was just one example of the violent backlash the youth faced during this time, while peacefully protesting for what they believed in. So what difference did these youth make? What did so many people leave their jobs, education, or simply normal lives for? What did so many people die and survive during this movement? Well, in addition to starting a new movement that spread like wildfire, the hippie subculture took a stand against violence, specifically the war, conformity, and mainstream authority. They stood for what they believed in, which was peace, unity, diversity, and love. Although the movement died when the war ended, the hippies left national effects. The hippie movement spawned the pro-environmental movement, which eventually established an Earth Day. Additionally, they raised awareness for recycling, organic foods, and forest preservation. The hippies spread love for Earth just as much as they spread love for people. And although I'm a couple decades late and generations late to joining the hippie era, I love what they stood for. Kids and youth my age created their own subculture that moved against society's conformity to stand up for what they believed in. If the youth could stand for what they believed in over 60 years ago, I wonder what difference the youth could make today.